Everybody, welcome to October. We're in the new month, the month of abundance. So let's see what abundance we have within love. This is a twin flame in separation reading. So we're going to see what's going on around the energies of the twin flame collective in separation. So today's message is, my beloved, though we may be physically apart, spiritually we are always united, for love transcends space and time. Nothing is missing. Okay, so we're going to put that probably right about there. Right, and so Spirit is reminding you that you're always connected to everybody. The separation that you're experiencing is an illusion. It's a necessary illusion for allowing you to experience the lower densities. So let's see what other energies want to present themselves within this collective reading. So Spirit, what are the love energies that are present today? And welcome to October. It's time for the harvest, time for some apple cider and some caramel apples, Halloween. So we have some fun things going on in October, and it's the gateway to Thanksgiving. And remember, we have a 1010 portal coming up in a few days. We have the end of the eclipse season, which is October 2nd. And so if you go over to my channel tomorrow, Silver Fox Spiritual, you're going to find that I will have an activation for you for the, and that's on YouTube, for the 1010, or for the eclipse and the new moon. Okay, so Spirit's been pulling this out a lot. Commitment is coming in. What that commitment is, we're not really too sure yet. And greetings, Summers. And Spirit saying, cherish your relationship. However, be careful of temptation, right? And for those of you who aren't familiar with my style of reading, this is not your typical twin flame read, because what we focus is on the person that is watching the read and what's available to them within their energy. I don't really care what your twin's doing, and neither should you. What you should care about is what's within your energy and what's within your reach, and what's the kind of pitfalls. And this side of it is always the pitfalls. This side is always the positive, the great outcomes. And in here is that bridge of how do I get from here to here, right? So respect your relationship, right? And so it doesn't have to be a romantic relationship. It could just be from, your parents, your kids, your dog, your hamster, right? Whatever you have that is a relationship, respect that and have proper boundaries on it. Love bonds always grow stronger over time if it's truly a love bond, right? And not just, yes, this is a collective summer. What I'm doing is a twin flame collective in separation. And so, with that, and if you're looking for a personal read, just reach out. I do personal reads. The information is right there up on my screen, and contact information is in the profile. And so it looks like that there is something coming into the collective right now. There's opportunity, right? And these are kind of doors that are open, but you have to get to the open door first. So let's see what the situation is around that. So I haven't used this deck in a while. Let's see what Spirit wants to give us on this. And so, please like, follow, share, and subscribe if you like the readings. Donations are greatly appreciated. Or if you want your own personal reading, I do a whole bunch of them. I have a sale. It was till the end of September. I'll honor it for a couple more days before I change my screen to change the price. But light language, personal light language is $50. Messages from your person in separation is $10. Mini reads are $20. What's blocking you love is $10. And for a full read, it's $40, but that's going up to $55 in a couple days once I change my sign. So Spirit, what is going on in the collective right now? Show me the different things that are going on, the energies. Okay, and then also on Mondays and Wednesdays, right now in the evenings around 8:30, I go live and we do free questions and answers with my friend Spiritual Susan. We do it usually every Mondays and Wednesdays, and we're starting to play around with some Sundays too. So if you just want like one card or two, that's the time to come see us. We do a collective and we do some activation. So let's see what Spirit's telling us about this love connection, this twin flame in separation. Let's see what's going on with it. Okay, so a lot of you are right now lonely, withdrawn, right? Solitary. Why? Because you're in separation, right? Let's face it, this is a love in separation. And so it could be both twins at the time mirroring. We're going to see peace, right? Balance, harmony, friendship. So this is right here, more confirmation that you need to find that inner peace, that balance with all your friendships. And then these potentials are coming through. Ecstasy, chasing thrills, excitement, good time, right? And this is that temptation, right? We said about temptation, right? And part of that temptation is chasing that thrill, chasing that bad boy, chasing that bad girl, right? Because remember, DM is an energy. It is not a gender. So you may have your divine masculine, maybe a man or a woman, right? It's really about energy. It's nothing to do with gender. And so you may be chasing that person, and that chasing, that temptation, that illusion is what's keeping you stuck, right? Shallow, hollow, empty, and boredom, right? Because you're chasing thrills, and those thrills, you can never get enough thrills, so you just keep on chasing it, hoping you get that instant high that you had the first time, but you haven't been able to achieve it ever since. Sorrow, loss, grief, and depression because you're withdrawn, right? You're by yourself, and now you've got to face yourself, right? And this is why people don't want to be alone, because then they have to face their own fears. They have to face that voice in their head. They have to face their shadows. And most people don't like themselves, and so it's really hard to be with yourself if you don't like yourself. And a heart fog, right? So you're messed up because that person or that thing that you were chasing was giving you breadcrumbs, right? Mixed signals, blocked emotions, messed up. And there's a lot of, these temptations. We got a lot of temptations coming in this week. Influences, attachments, third parties, and peers. And a lot of you have those attachments, and those attachments to negative people, to people who aren't really in alignment with where you're moving towards. And generally, as you start to raise in frequency, you start to lose a lot of people. And the reason that you lose a lot of people is because you're no longer in alignment with them. And you're going to wonder why all my friends are dropping off. I don't have any friends. I'm all by myself, right? And this is that time. It's when you go within and heal. And as you come in and heal, slowly but surely, new friends, new opportunities will come in, but it takes time, right? And you'll reach a breaking point once you hit that final straw, the done. Right? I used to have a friend, Johnny, and he always likes to call this Johnny done. When Johnny's done, then boom, everything explodes. You have your tantrum. We sometimes call that tower moment, dark night of the soul, whatever you want to call that, right? And when you hit that breaking point, then you finally say, what do I need to do within myself to fix what's going on? Because remember, you can't fix anybody but yourself. So you have to look at your own self first, right? And part of that is depth, right? Awareness, importance, and value. Depth is very important because you have to reach the depths of your own soul, which is difficult. This is not an easy task. And when you do get to the depths of your own soul, then all this wonderful stuff becomes available to you, right? Because otherwise you've got a closed door. You're too busy chasing illusion to see what's really in front of you. And how you doing, Ada? Okay, so let's see what else we have here within this collective reading that we're doing here. Spirit, give me a couple more cards of what's going on with the situation. This October, we're moving into some new energies, this new abundance energy for this month. We're in Libra season, so hopefully we'll get a little balance. And so Spirit's given us a few more cards. And let's see what we've got here. So Spirit's saying, reminiscing, I miss our inside jokes, right? And so you're in that place, maybe even your person is in that place of kind of looking back and missing some of the good things that were going on. And they feel guilty because of the pain that they caused, right? And most likely, Divine Feminine, you're probably feeling guilty too because, look, toxicity is a two-way street. You were in alignment with that toxicity, which is why you were attracting that person in the start, and right? And it may have been a real twin, or it may have been what we call catalyst twin. Right? We don't know. No card reader is going to know. We only see the energies, and the energies that they present themselves as somebody who seems like a divine counterpart, basically a strong soul contract, or not. You don't know what you're going to get in the end, and this is where a mistake a lot of twins make, is that they're so fixated on one specific outcome that a lot of the things that could potentially come in can't, because there's no space for it. So you have to be able to say, okay, if my person is my person, great, I'd like him to come in, or her. However, I'm open for other opportunities, and as you're open for those other opportunities, and I know a whole bunch of twin flame readers just guessed and said, oh my God, no, no, no. No, it's not true. These are all about contracts, right? And frequency. As you get to the right frequency, you have multiple divine counterparts that you can and will be able to go with. You just have to have the allowance of it. If you're fixated on a story created by people, which is the twin flame story, then you're going to always find yourself stuck within that person, and things are going to take a lot longer to progress. You just have to be open, but what you have to be open for is two things, two seemingly competing things: that your person that you perceive as your twin is truly your twin, divine counterpart, and that there potentially could be another option as well. As you align frequency-wise, that's where you're going to get what you're going to get. Self-love, right? It's the key to everything in this world. The more you love yourself, the more you feel complete within yourself, the more you're happy to be by yourself, right? Not feeling alone, the more that this door opens for you, right? Because I like to use an analogy of a door, and the door is you've got a door, but your heart got broken. So what we're going to do is put a door over that heart, and so we're going to lock it, right? And then we're going to put 2 or 3 more padlocks on it, and we're going to take that window and we're going to black that window out, and we're going to take off the handle from the other side. So at the end of the day, what do you got? You got a wall, right? That's not a door. That's not a proper boundary. A door has windows. A door has at least a peephole, maybe a doorbell, and it has a handle so you can see who's there. New technology, it's got a ring doorbell. So you can see who's there. You can ask a few questions before you let them in. And that's a proper boundary. Sabotage. I mess up the good things in my life sometimes, right? And this is all part of that temptation. Why do you mess it up? Because you're going after this ecstasy. You're going after this illusion. You're chasing after something you know is not going to fulfill you and get you to that commitment, but you chase it anyway. Why? Because society tells you should. Why? Because you know that this person's never going to be in it, so it's safe, because you're safe in your trauma. You got to get out of that safeness of the trauma, right? But you have somebody that wants to have a conversation with you. It's here right now. It's sitting in the energies. So you have the potential for something really nice and deep, a commitment, right? A love bond, someone who wants to have a conversation. But are you going to allow it to happen? And that's the question. So let's see, what it is that's blocking love. Because like I said, my reads are a little bit different than your standard twin flame reads, because it's all about you, right? What we're looking to is, how do you solve you? How do you get closer to yourself? And as you get closer to yourself, you attract that true divine counterpart that you're meant to be with. And so let's see what it is that's blocking you, right? Because I can't fix your counterpart. You can't fix your counterpart. You can't heal them. They have to heal themselves. And that's why you've been separated. So Spirit, give me 2, max 3 of the biggest blocks. All right. So Spirit always busts my balls and tells me who's in control. And so it gives me 4 instead of 2. So losing yourself, right? You feel lost in your partner. It's okay to be yourself and have a little of your own life too, right? And this is a big one, because most people who identify as divine feminine, very codependent, they get so attached on that outcome, on that person, and oh my God, if this person leaves me, what am I going to do? I've lost my divine counterpart for life. What have I done? Oh my God, right? And that's fear. Get out of the fear. You have to be comfortable with yourself. Vulnerable. You cannot experience true intimacy unless you open your heart and be yourself. And again, these two are telling you the same thing. If you have to change yourself for somebody else, well, guess what? They're not meant to be with you, because why would you want to change yourself? Because you're now making yourself into somebody you're not. Now, if you want to change yourself because you see there's some toxicity in your behavior or your alignment, yeah, that's great. That's self-love. That's self-love because you're healing wounds, anxious attachment, inner child. Those things are the greatest things to change, but you don't change for anyone else. You change for you. You don't care whether this person stays, lays, or prays because it doesn't really matter. It should not matter to you because you're whole and complete on your own. And if this person wants to join you in your journey, that's amazing. If they don't, okay, that's amazing too because you'll find the person that does. Comparison. Comparing is unfair. Leave your past behind and see the new love for who they are. Stop looking at them and comparing them from that person you define as your divine counterpart because that person may not be, and you may be spending all this time comparing somebody who's right for you with somebody who's wrong. So allow things to flow. Always just be in the moment and enjoy the experience that you're in. And the last but not least, because this was all about this here, right? That fear of loss. Why are you doing all these things? Because you're fear of losing somebody, right? You're afraid of losing someone or being abandoned. Take a chance, right? And if you're afraid of losing somebody, then you haven't truly healed because you're not afraid. You're afraid to be alone is what you're afraid. And why are you afraid to be alone? Because you don't like being with yourself. Because you don't like what you see. Fix that. If they leave, they leave. That's too bad. That's their loss, not yours. So these are the big blocks that we have, right? And so we're not just going to go and, just criticize ourselves all day long, right? This is not how these reads go for me. We're going to look at how do we get to the place that we want to be, right? That conversation, that area where we're talking to our true love, we're recognizing our true love. So we're going to ask our higher self, one from outside of polarity, the one that solved this, we're going to say, how did you solve it? The turnaround time for the $10 messages is usually within a day. I usually do them in the evening. And it'll be multiple decks. It won't just be one deck. Spirit, what is the advice that you have for everybody watching here? And wow, our higher selves had a lot to say today, right? This is our future higher self, the one that has solved it. Because remember, every experience is happening in the now moment. The only thing we need to do is adjust our frequency to be in alignment with the one that solved the issues that we want. When you bond with someone in spirit, you both become a greater force of good. And so Spirit's telling you, you have somebody and you're going to bond with somebody that is spiritually right for you. Okay? Everything's unfolding as it should be. You're in the right place at the right time, especially listening to this podcast, read, whatever you want to call it, right? Because the people that come here are the ones that get guided to me, are the ones that are looking to truly heal, not to look at some story about how their twin is cheating and having parties and doing all sorts of drugs while they're sitting at home crying. No, this is not what we do. We don't tear down people to put them in fear. We build them up and show them how can we get to the place that we need to go to, right? Your success is closer than you can imagine. So just keep going, right? And your future higher self is saying, you're right there. You're almost there. You're here for a reason. You're watching this for a reason. And everything you want is on the other side of the unknown. What does that mean? It means that you got to open the door. Like I said, you can't have a door and just sit on the other side of the door and wait for everything to come. If you see an opportunity and it looks like a proper opportunity by using your discernment, right, and getting out of illusion, well, guess what? All you have to do is open the door and walk in, right? Healing is that same thing. It's a choice. You can choose to stay in this hamster wheel of karma that I have over here. And like I said earlier in the read, this is a side of, consequences. Consequences is just a choice that you're making over and over again, and you're not you're getting stuck in fear. And this side is what happens when you release the fear and you start healing yourself. And that's a choice, right? Just because a portal's coming in doesn't mean you're getting the effects of the energies of those portals. That's very incorrect. A lot of spiritual people are always telling you, oh, you're just getting upgraded and this is what's happening. No, you're only getting upgraded if you're in alignment with it. And how do you get in alignment with it? You have to make a choice to heal. You can't just sit there and not choose anything and sit and stay in the same place and expect you're healing. You're not. You're not. That's just a lie. And I'm just going to call them out on that. You have to make that choice. Spirit doesn't care whether you make a choice to stay in the same lifetime thousands of lifetimes over, or if you choose to heal. But whichever one is your choice, and Spirit's going to support you in either choice. So with that, let us look at timing, right? We always like to know, when. So we're going to pull a timing deck out, and we're going to say, all right, Spirit, I do choose to heal. I do choose to take advantage of the energies of the eclipse and the new moon. I really want to, change my life for the better. I want to heal. I want to do wonderful things. And so here's the timing Spirit's saying. And then Spirit's got a lot to say again, right? So first thing Spirit's saying is stop obsessing, right? And this is always the problem here, especially with the Divine Feminines. We obsess about where's my twin? What are they doing? Why haven't they come? Why haven't they healed? And that's not our job. Our job is to heal ourselves. And Spirit's saying at a special day from November to July. So for some of you, it can come in as soon as November. We're right around the corner from this in that abundance, right? For some of you, it may be July. But you're going to have to choose to heal, because if you're still obsessing and it's July, well, guess what? It's still going to pass you by, right? And why is it going to pass you by? Because you've chosen to stay in this wheel. And Spirit says, okay, they seem to want to understand more about the negative experience over and over again. Maybe there's something deeper they need to understand. So we'll let you go through that process again until you get to the Johnny Dunn point, right? That point of where I'm done, I'm finished, I can't take this anymore. And let me see if I can find that card, the Johnny Dunn card, somewhere in there. But yeah, breaking point. This is the Johnny Dunn card, right? And once you're at Johnny Dunn, right, then you're going to move over to this side. But sometimes it takes a while for that, and we don't judge it. It's a choice. So with that, that is my reading for today. Please like, follow, share, and subscribe to the channel. If you are looking for your own reading, please do reach out. Any of the smaller $10, $20 readings are ones that can be done pretty quickly. And the $40 reading, that's going to have to be scheduled, because that's going to be, something closer to, an hour's worth of time. And with that, please do reach out. The sale price will only be on for another couple of days. Once you see the sign change, the prices have gone up. So if you're on the fence and you would like something, this is the best time to do it, because these prices are going up. As this is my only income, try to keep it as affordable as I can, but I do need to actually pay the electric bill and eat. So with that, I thank everybody for watching. And please reach out if you need anything otherwise. Information is in my profile and the description if you're watching in the replay. Cheers.